For me, I have a dream and I want to be able to work as a physician as I was in my country. But the dream, my husband's dream came first. So if you are a marriage, you are one person. So the decision to leave one thing and come in here and work and make crepes is just because we are a family, right? So his dream was met first than mine. So I know that when my time comes, he will be able to release me and say, now it's your turn. So why would I been here angry because I'm not doing what I know to do? Because this is a learning experience for me too. I get to talk to people. I have some other cultural enrichment here.
You are husband's wife.
I am, yes.
And you were born in Nicaragua?
Yes.
Where were you born?
Managua, Nicaragua. It's the capital of Nicaragua in 1980.
Oh.
42 years old.
42?
Yes.
And growing up in Managua, what was life like for you?
So that's a funny story. I was born in 1980. 1980 was the war kind of thing in Nicaragua. So my dad took all our family to live in Honduras. So I grew up in Honduras until my 18th birthday.
You are a doctor.
I am.
You are a medical doctor.
I am a family physician back in my country.
How did that come about? Did you want to be that when you were a child? Was family doctors?
No.
Why did you want to become a doctor?
No, growing up, I will say, I think I was saying I want to be an architect because I do like to draw.
Okay.
But then I had a friend that was getting into medical school, and she invited me to an anatomy class, and I fell in love. So
with the idea of the human body.
Yeah, exactly.
And helping fix it.
And then trying to help the pain, to release the pain.
That Nicaragua has universal education, universal health care, but the point that YouTube made and those news people was that it's maybe not as developed or a high level of care or education. Again, somebody's opinion. You lived it, both in the healthcare and in the education fields. It's universal, it's free for everybody. What's it like for the average person?
So my point of with that particular comment will be that you will have to remember that Nicaragua is a third world country.
Okay.
So yes, the medicine could be you don't pay for that, but because we are so poor as a country, you don't get to have an MRI because we don't have the resources to have an MRI machine.
Gotcha.
So it is free, but you will have to pay for that MRI because somebody else with the money bought the machine, and then yes, it's available, but you have to pay it out of pocket because our government doesn't have the resources to make that part of the procedure. For you to become a doctor back in Nicaragua is that you have to work 2 years, let's say for free, for the government. So if you don't do that part of the job, you are not allowed to have your license back then, right? So they send you to the most inaccessible parts of Nicaragua, and then you have to start your medical journey after you accomplish everything in your university. I was from Managua, so I traveled, let's say 8 hours from my house to where I was placed, but then that community has like a very tiny little areas, so you will have to have a horse with you, and then course back to whatever community you were in for 2 I mean, the story that it's in my mind all the time, I was fresh out of the university, right? Like 2 months in my 2 years. And I had a 15-year-old kid that was brought for his dad. His dad was carrying the kid. The kid was dead already. And he died because dad and the 15-year-old was working on the fields, and they were doing some fertilizing with the corns, I think. I don't remember actually. But a wind just went crazy, and all the fertilizer that he was putting on got into him, so he choked. And his dad walked like 3 hours from where they were in Nicaragua, because we don't have many things. You wait until that last moment that you cannot,
because there's no
anymore.
choice.
Because you can't. And here it's because you have everything very, very
accessible.
You go, I have a
toothache,
headache. Then you go to the doctor, and the doctor will say, okay, it's a headache. It can be. Because
that also.
Yes, because country people resolve their issues not with the law, right? You will go with a give me that, and then they just stab you or just punch you in the face. So you get that, but mostly because it's a family, oriented medicine. Mostly kids, sick kids, or parasites, or pregnant moms, or stuff like that. You see bullets and somebody was stabbed, or somebody poisoned because they were doing something with the fields and then did it correctly. So, but those type of events were not the main events. You learn how to work with very little. And here it's a very abundant everything. So you use one thing. In Nicaragua we can use it 10 times. We had what we could have. So that's something beautiful, I think, about Nicaragua, is that you learn to deal with your issues with what you have on hand, not with what you wish you have.
Right.
That my heart was always to work with the communities, right? So I after a year of working at the hospital, I start working with organization that they provide you. They were from Sweden, the owners, right? So they provide you with all the resources and ambulance and everything. So what we did for 3 years, it's we kind of went to those areas that were not accessible for the government to put clinics there.
Okay.
So we kind of put a temporary clinic for a week, let's say. I did that for 3 years.
Wow.
Because that's
was
what
it fulfilling?
makes me happy. Yeah.
You were happy during.
And that's the type. I'm sorry. That's the type of thing that you said. I give you my prized chicken. So people there don't have any money, right? So you leave the community with a bag of beans and some, I don't know, vegetables that they grew, because they were so appreciative that you were there for them. 2018 in Nicaragua was a very interesting year. As I said, 1980s, we have a revolution for 10 years, 1980s to 1990. The same president that had the 1980 to 1990 revolution came back to office. And in 2018, he decided that the pension plan for the elderly was gonna be reduced. So the students of the university that it's funded by the government, they didn't like that idea, because it's every grandparent in Nicaragua who's gonna be suffer because the government just decided, if you. So they decided to if you had like $800 a month. No, that's too much. Sorry. I don't know, $300 a month
Pension.
as a pension, you as an elderly, right? They said that they will decrease it in 20%, for example.
Okay.
So the students didn't like that idea, so they decided to start a pacifist protest.
Okay.
For me, I have a dream and I want to be able to work as a physician as I was in my country.